So I recently had a question from a customer about why they had to have vector art for screen printing. Their art is designed in Photoshop, and they're asking why they have to have their art vectored for me to screen print it. So I'm going to run you through the difference between a vector art and raster art. Photoshop is a raster file, and this is an image of the Tulare County seal, and I will show you why this is hard to screen print properly. First off, this is not technically, I can't print this with spot colors. There are about 12,000 greens and 27 yellows and a whole bunch of different grays and blacks. And so it's really not spot color printable, meaning I can't just print yellow. I have to print this yellow and this yellow and this yellow. And if you zoom in, there are probably 200 shades of yellow just in this spot right here. And so if I just print it yellow, it'll be a yellow blob and it won't have this gradient. In addition, you'll notice the greens, there's this gradient here, and these greens are all different. Even though they are technically green, they are all different colors. Now as I zoom in, this is at 700%. By the way, this image is about 7 inches across. You can see here at the top. But as I zoom in, you will notice that there are all these little squares. These are called pixels. And each of these squares doesn't have a smooth edge. And so when I print this, because my print is a copy of a copy, if you've ever run a thing on a photocopy machine and then copied that and then copied that again, and you took a copy of a copy of a copy, the copies diminish over time and they get worse and worse and worse. The quality degrades. And that's what screen printing is. It's a copy of a copy of a copy. So you take what's on this screen, you copy it onto some film, you take that film, you copy it onto the screen, the screen printing screen. Once you copy it from the screen printing screen to the actual shirt, you've made the 5th or 6th copy, and the quality just degrades and degrades and degrades. So you can see how pixelated and fuzzy this is when you zoom in. Now let me show you in this art in Adobe Illustrator, which is a vector file program, not a raster file program. If I just designed this for Redwood FFA, and if I zoom in, you will notice the edges of the art are extremely smooth. And this is at 800%. So I could blow this up to the size of a bus and it wouldn't pixelate, because these drawings are not pixels, they are actually mathematical formulas. And they say draw a line from this point to this point. Those are the only points in the art. If I change the art to the outline view, you will notice that the actual drawing is just these points. There is 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point here. And so when I make a copy of this onto the transparencies and then copy it again to the actual screen that I'm going to print with, and then copy it again to the shirt, I've only made a couple of copies and the quality doesn't degrade as much. In addition, you will notice that this is spot color setup, meaning there is a white screen and a yellow screen. The navy is the background. And so it's easy to take what's on this computer screen and put it on to a t-shirt. In addition, screen printing screens are a mesh. And when I take the screen printing and I try to get a raster image on it, remember, I'm trying to take a smooth thing and put it on a bumpy surface. And so you'll note that if you zoom in on these, when I transfer these smooth curves onto the mesh, it will start to fall out in some of these spots because the mesh can't support the image. And that is another reason why we try to use vector art instead of pixelated art, so that I can get the art to transfer properly. There's a good image. You see how if I have a circle here, it will fall out. It won't transfer to the screen. So I have to use a tighter mesh, and there's some tricks I do to make that happen. So essentially, that's why I need vector art, not Photoshop art, because you can see how fuzzy it is compared to how smooth this is. I hope this helps.